Imagine standing beside a kitchen window on a quiet morning, looking down at a humble clay pot resting on the ledge. Inside that pot sits a modest green plant, its leaves catching the soft sunlight. To an untrained eye, it appears to be nothing more than decorative greenery or a simple culinary herb. Yet, deep within its cellular architecture lies a biological mechanism capable of altering the trajectory of your health. Scientific research now demonstrates that specific plants possess the extraordinary power to help restore cellular vitality from within, guarding the very core of our genetic material against the relentless wear of time. In a landmark 6-month clinical trial, researchers observed something remarkable. Human volunteers consuming a standardized botanical extract experienced a measurable lengthening of the protective caps on their DNA strands, an effect quantified under microscopic analysis. Another herb demonstrated the ability to increase the efficiency of a critical cellular repair enzyme by nearly 900%. Meanwhile, a third plant exhibits an astonishing level of selective intelligence, protecting healthy tissues and extending their operational lifespan, while actively encouraging damaged or compromised cells to dismantle themselves safely. These findings are not folklore, nor are they overstated claims. They are grounded in rigorous molecular biology anchored directly in the discoveries that earned a Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine. Before exploring each of these 8 extraordinary plants and learning how to cultivate them in your own home, we must understand the biological narrative that explains how they work. When you grasp the cellular mechanics at play, these plants cease to be mere grocery store produce or decorative houseplants. Instead, you begin to see them as living tools for expanding your health span and shielding your body at the deepest structural level. In 2009, Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn and her research colleagues were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. They solved a fundamental mystery that had puzzled biologists for decades: how chromosomes protect their ends during cell division. To understand their discovery, picture a strand of DNA inside your cell as a shoelace. At the very end of a shoelace, there is a small plastic cap known as an aglet, which prevents the fabric threads from fraying and falling apart. In the human body, your chromosomes have similar protective caps made of repetitive DNA sequences, and these caps are called telomeres. Every single time a cell divides to repair damaged tissue or keep your organs functioning, its DNA must replicate. However, the cellular machinery responsible for copying DNA cannot replicate the very tip of the strand. As a result, with every division, your telomeres become slightly shorter. When these protective caps wear down to a critically short length, the cell reaches a limit known as biological senescence. At that point, the cell can no longer divide, loses its ability to repair itself, and either becomes dormant or dies. This physical erosion of telomeres is the literal physical definition of cellular aging occurring inside your body right now. Dr. Blackburn made another profound discovery. The human body produces a specialized enzyme named telomerase. Telomerase acts like an elite internal maintenance team, actively rebuilding and extending those protective DNA caps. In a groundbreaking study conducted alongside Dr. Alyssa Eppel, researchers examined mothers caring for children with severe chronic illnesses. These mothers were under intense long-term psychological stress. When scientists measured the length of their telomeres, the results sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The mothers experiencing the highest levels of chronic psychological stress had significantly shorter telomeres, equivalent to several years of accelerated biological aging. Emotional stress was not just taxing their minds, it was physically consuming the protective tips of their DNA. This is precisely where our 8 plants enter the picture. The primary drivers of telomere degradation are oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, elevated stress hormones, and poor cellular nutrition. reactive oxygen molecules attack the ends of chromosomes because telomeres are rich in guanine, making them the most vulnerable target in the entire genome. Certain plants contain specific phytochemical compounds capable of counteracting this destruction. Some stimulate telomerase enzyme activity, others neutralize free radicals before they reach the cell nucleus, and others suppress the stress pathways that accelerate DNA wear. The first plant on our list is Astragalus, also known as Astragalus membranaceus or milk vetch. If you take only one key insight from scientific literature on longevity herbs, let it be about this exceptional plant. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, the absolute gold standard of medical research, healthy adult volunteers consumed an extract derived from Astragalus for a period of 6 months. Detailed cellular examinations revealed that their chromosome caps had lengthened significantly compared to baseline measurements. In stark contrast, the placebo group showed no positive structural changes whatsoever. To confirm these findings beyond any doubt, researchers conducted a comprehensive meta-analysis pooling data across 8 separate clinical trials involving 750 human subjects. The analysis confirmed the definitive outcome. Astragalus stands as the single most thoroughly documented botanical compound in medical literature for preserving and maintaining chromosomal telomeres. Cultivating Astragalus at home requires a large container or a dedicated garden bed, as the plant loves full sunlight exposure and loose, well-draining soil. While it grows slowly during its initial year, it becomes extremely low maintenance once its root system establishes itself. You can harvest the therapeutic roots after 2 to 3 years during the autumn season, when active compound concentrations reach their maximum potency. Our second plant is Centella asiatica, commonly known as Gotu Kola. In a controlled human clinical study, participants taking Gotu Kola extract over an 8-week period recorded a measurable increase in telomere length, whereas the control group experienced no such benefit. Even more impressive was a laboratory screening that compared dozens of known plant extracts against one another. Centella asiatica emerged as the clear leader, boosting the activity of the telomere-protecting enzyme by nearly 9 times, an astonishing increase of approximately 900%. This low-growing, creeping herb thrives in high humidity and partial shade, which makes it an ideal candidate for indoor growing near a bright window. Keep the potting soil consistently moist, and you will enjoy a continuous supply of fresh leaves. You can steep these fresh leaves in hot water to create a soothing herbal tea, or add them directly into daily green salads for a crisp, health-boosting crunch. The third plant is turmeric, known scientifically as Curcuma longa. Most of us recognize turmeric as a vibrant yellow spice in our kitchens, but few realize its profound effect at the subcellular level. Scientific investigations from Sun Yat-sen University demonstrated that turmeric's primary active compound, curcumin, protects human cells under severe oxidative stress and restores their operational capacity. What truly astonished researchers, however, was curcumin's selective biological intelligence. In healthy, functional cells, curcumin promotes cell survival and extends operational lifespan. But when it encounters defective, damaged, or precancerous cells, it triggers programmed cell death, a process known as apoptosis. This selective behavior, shielding healthy tissue while accelerating the removal of compromised cells, is extraordinarily rare in medicine. You can easily cultivate turmeric indoors by planting a fresh, firm rhizome in a deep pot filled with rich soil. Position the pot in a warm spot that receives bright, indirect sunlight. Keep the soil moderately moist, and harvest your own fresh turmeric rhizomes after 8 to 10 months. Our fourth plant is green tea, derived from the Camellia sinensis shrub egg. Massive epidemiological study involving more than 2,000 elderly individuals discovered that those who drank more than 3 pots of green tea daily possessed measurably longer telomeres compared to non-tea drinkers. A comprehensive scientific review confirmed that the powerful polyphenol compounds in green tea maintain DNA replication accuracy, slow markers of cellular senescence, and support mitochondria, which serve as the microscopic powerhouses inside every cell. Camellia sinensis grows wonderfully as a potted shrub on a sunny patio or near a bright window. It prefers slightly acidic, well-draining soil and partial sunlight. In the spring, you can harvest the young, tender leaves to dry for brewing or steep them fresh for an energizing daily beverage, packed with cellular protectors. The 5th plant is ashwagandha, known scientifically as Withania somnifera. Ashwagandha addresses cellular aging by tackling one of the most destructive factors in modern life: chronic psychological stress. Laboratory studies show that ashwagandha extracts increased cellular maintenance enzyme activity by approximately 45%. Furthermore, clinical trials in human subjects confirm that ashwagandha significantly lowers serum markers of oxidative stress and systemic inflammation while dampening excess cortisol output. This hardy, resilient plant is remarkably drought-tolerant and loves direct sunlight. It grows effortlessly in pots filled with sandy, well-drained soil and requires minimal watering. After 1 to 2 years of growth, you can harvest its mature roots, dry them, and grind them into a therapeutic powder to support your body's stress response. The 6th plant is red grapes, specifically the skin of red grapes, which is exceptionally rich in resveratrol. Scientists studying biological aging have focused on resveratrol for decades because of its direct interaction with a family of specialized regulatory proteins called sirtuins. Sirtuins regulate longevity genes, coordinate DNA repair, and manage cellular energy balance. Molecular research has mapped the precise pathways through which resveratrol activates telomere maintenance enzymes, preventing double-strand DNA breaks and maintaining genetic stability. Planting a dwarf grapevine in a large balcony container or garden bed with a sturdy wooden trellis allows you to harvest fresh, vine-ripened red grapes every season. Eating the fresh grape skins gives you a natural whole food source of this powerful compound. Our 7th plant is rosemary, or Rosmarinus officinalis, an accessible choice that may already be growing on your windowsill. Rosemary contains 2 exceptionally potent antioxidant compounds, rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid. A study from the University of Siena identified the exact chemical mechanism by which rosmarinic acid intercepts harmful reactive oxygen species before they can inflict damage on chromosome ends. Populations living in regions where culinary herbs, rich in polyphenols, are consumed daily demonstrate significantly slower markers of biological aging. Rosemary thrives in a sunny pot filled with fast-draining sandy soil. It requires very little water, needing a light soak only when the surface soil feels dry to the touch. The 8th plant is basil, or Ocimum basilicum. Like rosemary, basil contains significant levels of rosmarinic acid, along with unique water-soluble flavonoids that shield cellular membranes from structural breakdown. Scientific research examining the traditional Mediterranean diet confirms that the daily, consistent intake of fresh aromatic herbs provides continuous, cumulative cellular protection over time. You can cultivate basil easily in a small kitchen container placed on a bright windowsill. Water it regularly, and be sure to pinch off any flowering tops as they appear. This simple pruning encourages the plant to continually produce lush, aromatic, green leaves that you can harvest daily to elevate your meals. When you look at these 8 plants together, a striking biological pattern emerges. Cellular aging is not driven by a single isolated failure. It is the cumulative result of DNA cap erosion, oxidative damage, mitochondrial decay, chronic stress, and inflammatory signals. These 8 plants form a comprehensive multi-layered shield against cellular decay. Astragalus and Gotu Kola directly stimulate the repair enzyme telomerase to restore lost DNA caps. Curcumin selectively clears out damaged cells while fortifying healthy ones. Green tea protects mitochondrial energy production and ensures accurate DNA replication. Resveratrol switches on sirtuin longevity pathways. Ashwagandha blunts the destructive impact of stress hormones. Rosemary and Basil intercept dangerous free radicals before they reach your chromosomes. By introducing simple, sustainable habits into your routine, you can actively support your body's repair mechanisms. The goal is not merely to increase the number of years you live, but to narrow the gap between your chronological age and your biological cellular age. What you nurture on your windowsill and cook in your kitchen eventually makes its way into the deepest compartments of your cells, influencing how your DNA is maintained over time. You do not need an advanced laboratory or expensive synthetic supplements to take control of your cellular health. All it takes is a pot of soil, a sunny windowsill, and a commitment to consistency. If you want the easiest starting point, begin with rosemary or basil. If you want the most potent clinical backing for DNA cap preservation, choose Astragalus. If you prefer a refreshing morning ritual, cultivate green tea. The most important step is simply to begin today. If you found genuine value and scientific insight in this narrative, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you never miss our future explorations into evidence-based wellness. Leave a comment down below telling us which of these 8 plants you plan to start growing first. Take thoughtful care of your body from within and allow your vitality to shine through on the outside.